After weeks with ancient teachings, my world changed. Colors pulsed with life. Then one evening, a warmth and a vision, a glowing web of light, seen not with eyes but from within. It was no dream. It was real. The ancient path to seeing more. It was true.
Have you ever felt there's more to life than what we see? That deep inside you, there are hidden abilities, psychic powers, just waiting to be unlocked? For centuries, a secret path has been whispered about, a path followed by wise men and women to awaken these extraordinary powers. This path belongs to the Rosicrucians, an ancient and mysterious group. Today, we're pulling back the veil. We're going to explore the 7 secret stages of their initiation, steps that could awaken your own hidden potential. What you're about to hear is profound, and many believe it's absolutely real. The Rosicrucian Brotherhood is traditionally linked to the legendary figure Christian Rosenkreuz, who is said to have founded the order in the 15th century after traveling through the Middle East and acquiring esoteric wisdom. However, the movement emerged back again in the early 17th century with the publication of 3 anonymous manifestos, Fama Fraternitatis, Confessio Fraternitatis, and the chemical wedding of Christian Rosenkreuz. The Rosicrucians are most known for their mystical and esoteric teachings, which blend alchemy, Hermeticism, Kabbalah, and Christian mysticism into a unique spiritual tradition. Their philosophy emphasizes self-transformation, inner wisdom, and the pursuit of universal enlightenment. Rosicrucians believe that everything in the universe is interconnected, forming a single divine reality. This principle encourages compassion and a deeper connection with the world. With an understanding of its historical emergence, the next step is to explore the path of initiation. The Rosicrucian initiation is structured into 7 transformative stages, each leading the seeker deeper into spiritual enlightenment and self-mastery. This journey mirrors the alchemical process, refining the soul, much like base metals are transmuted into gold. It is not a retreat from daily life, but rather a path woven into ordinary existence, shaping the initiate from within, while they remain fully engaged in the world. These aren't just lessons you read. They are transformative experiences that can profoundly change you. So, let us embark on this journey together. Let's explore these 7 stages. Each stage builds upon the previous one, guiding us towards self-realization and spiritual enlightenment. We delve deeper into the very foundation of this path. Stage 1, study. But I want you to clear your mind of everything you associate with that word. This isn't the kind of study you remember from school, the memorizing of dates and facts for an exam. This is something far more profound. Rosicrucian study is not an intellectual exercise. It is a transformative, alchemical process. The goal isn't simply to acquire knowledge, but to fundamentally reshape the very instrument that perceives knowledge, the mind itself. Think of it this way. Conventional study is like filling a bucket with water. You collect facts and information. Rosicrucian study is about building a better vessel, a mind capable of holding, understanding, and experiencing the very nature of that water. It's the difference between information and true experiential knowing, or gnosis. So how is this done? It's not just about reading books. It requires the use of powerful inner tools. The first essential tool is self-reflection. This is the crucible where theory meets daily life. After studying a universal law, like the law of cause and effect, the seeker learns to turn inward and ask powerful questions. Where do I see this law at work in my own life today? In my habits, my relationships, my successes, and my failures? By constantly connecting the grand cosmic principles to their personal, lived experience, the knowledge ceases to be abstract. It becomes real, practical, and alive. The second tool is the counterpart to active reflection: meditation. If self-reflection is the work of analyzing and questioning, meditation is the art of listening in the silence. It is the practice of stilling the constant chatter of the everyday mind to create a space for a deeper understanding to arise. In this quiet state, the seeds of wisdom planted during study can begin to germinate. An idea that was once just an intellectual concept can suddenly click and be understood on a profound, intuitive level. Meditation is what allows us to move from thinking about a truth to truly feeling and experiencing it. This brings us to the ultimate purpose of stage 1, preparing the mind for higher knowledge. An unprepared mind is like an untuned radio, filled with the static of personal bias, emotional reactions, and unexamined beliefs. It simply cannot receive a clear signal. The disciplined practice of Rosicrucian study, using both reflection and meditation, tunes that radio. It creates order out of chaos. It cultivates mental discipline. And most importantly, it fosters a deep sense of humility as you begin to realize the vastness of what you do not know. By the end of this stage, the goal isn't to have all the answers. The goal is to have transformed the mind itself into a mental temple, a stable, ordered, and receptive instrument. The mind is no longer a barrier to truth, but a finely tuned tool ready to perceive it. And with this new instrument forged and ready, the aspirant is prepared for the next crucial step, learning to use it with clarity and precision. This leads us directly to the second stage. With the first step, we learned that its purpose was to build a mental temple, an ordered, disciplined mind. But what is the purpose of this temple? What happens inside its quiet, well-lit walls? This brings us to stage 2, the acquisition of imaginative knowledge. Now let's be very clear about the word imaginative. In this context, it has nothing to do with fantasy or making things up. This isn't about daydreaming. Think of a brilliant architect. In her mind's eye, she can see a magnificent building, complete in every detail, long before any physical blueprint exists. That vision is not a fantasy. It's a higher form of perception. Rosicrucian imagination is exactly that, the awakening of a spiritual vision. An ability to perceive realities that exist beyond our 5 physical senses. Stage 1 was about training the intellect. Stage 2 is about using that trained mind to awaken this new kind of sight. This inner reality communicates in a language different from our own. It doesn't use words and sentences. It speaks the universal language of symbols and archetypes. In the first stage, we might have studied the meaning of the tree of life or the rose cross emblem. But in this second stage, through deep contemplation, these symbols cease to be mere concepts. They come alive. The aspirant begins to experience them as living, dynamic forces within their own consciousness. It's the difference between reading a description of fire and actually feeling its warmth. The knowledge becomes direct, personal, and intuitive. With this developing vision, the seeker begins to perceive the world differently. They start to see the hidden causes behind the visible effects. They can look at a situation in their life and begin to sense the underlying energetic patterns or the archetypal stories playing out. This ability isn't granted overnight. It is a spiritual muscle, and it must be cultivated through dedicated practice, through meditation, through the deep contemplation of sacred symbols, and by paying close attention to the insights that arise from the quiet depths of the soul. The goal of this stage is to build a reliable bridge between the material world we know and the unseen world of spirit. The initiate is learning to trust their inner sight, to grasp hidden truths intuitively, and to navigate reality with a new and profound set of eyes. But to see is one thing. To know with absolute certainty and to use that sight with perfect clarity is another. This new vision must be refined and tested. The third stage is called reading the occult script. At this level, a new spiritual faculty begins to awaken, and it is about spiritual hearing. It's like being able to hear the secret sounds and music that fill the universe. The ancient mystics have called it music of the spheres. Think about how music in a movie can totally change how you feel about a scene. Without a single word, the music tells you whether something is joyful or sacred. In the same way, the spiritual tones you learn to hear at this stage tell you about the inner nature of spiritual beings, or the truth behind events. Instead of seeing a spiritual being as an image, you may sense a unique sound or vibrational signature that communicates its true nature. According to the Rosicrucians, every element of the universe, from the smallest particle to the biggest star, is said to have its own sound, its own song. This spiritual hearing helps you understand this secret symphony. You might already recognize a glimpse of this in daily life. The tone in someone's voice often tells you more than their words ever could. Here, you are learning the language of vibration, not through symbols or pictures, but through pure resonance. It's a deeper, more intuitive form of knowing. It's another way the universe can share its secrets directly with you, not through images, but through pure sound and vibration. The fourth stage is called living into the spiritual environment. This goes beyond just seeing or hearing spiritual things. It's about being able to feel and connect directly with higher spiritual realities through a deep inner feeling, a powerful sense of knowing inside yourself. At this level, the feeling of being separate from the spiritual world starts to fade. You don't just observe a spiritual being anymore. You can actually feel its nature and its presence as if it's part of you. It's no longer something out there. It's an understanding that comes from deep within. Ancient wisdom speaks the phrase, "that art thou," meaning you are a part of that which you connect with. In our physical world, our bodies are always separate. But in these higher spiritual places, that's not true. Beings with similar good energies can even join together, sharing their awareness. This deep form of intuition awakens an unshakable sense of inner knowing. This stage of intuition helps you directly feel this amazing oneness, this deep connection that ties everything in the universe together. It's a very personal and powerful way of knowing. The fifth stage brings a deep knowledge of the relations between the macrocosm and the microcosm. In the Rosicrucian teachings, macrocosm refers to the whole spiritual universe, and microcosm means you, the individual human being, as a reflection of the greater whole. At this stage of the spiritual path, the person starts to truly see how these two are deeply connected, like a perfect mirror of each other. You begin to experience that the spiritual worlds aren't some faraway place. You begin to feel them. They are all around us, and even inside us, all the time. The same forces that control the stars and galaxies also control your own inner self. What once seemed like a metaphor, as above, so below, now becomes a living truth, directly perceived. This understanding shows that our physical world is like a shadow, or a more solid version of these higher spiritual worlds, you begin to see the divine, godlike pattern in everything. Behind every tree, every heartbeat, every sunrise, you start to sense the divine blueprint, a sacred pattern that connects all things. Everything is interconnected. Everything is sacred. And in this sacred vision, you begin to awaken to your true place in the cosmic order. The sixth stage is known as union with the Macrocosm. This is not just knowledge of the great spiritual universe, it is the profound experience of becoming one with it. After understanding how everything is connected, the seeker now learns how to actively join with and become one with the higher powers and beings of the universe. This is where real spiritual transformation, the kind that the ancient alchemists so often spoke of. Many old and secret teachings from across the world have spoken about this sacred state. It's where your own personal awareness expands so greatly it can touch and feel the entire universe. The feeling of being just a small, separate self starts to fade. This is the alchemy of the soul. It's a state of being perfectly in tune with everything. You can feel and work with the creative energies of the universe, not as someone separate, but as an important part of everything that is. You feel like a wave in the great ocean of life, moving with the same energy that moves the stars, the planets, and all living things. You start to work with the creative forces of the universe, not against them. You realize that you are not just a small part of the universe. You are the universe, expressing itself in a unique way. This is the deep spiritual truth behind union with the macrocosm, the moment when you remember who and what you really are. And finally, we reach the seventh stage. This is described in different ways, like attaining divine blissfulness or joining all the earlier stages together. At this highest point, after joining with the macrocosm, the person feels a deep and lasting connection with the Godhead, the ultimate source of everything that exists. There's no more feeling of being separate from God or the divine. The inner flame of the I Am presence, your true spiritual identity, shines radiant and whole. This is the end of the journey, a state of deep peace, endless love, and total spiritual understanding. This is the end of the path, and also its beginning. For in this blissful union, the seeker becomes the sage, and the light they carry begins to illuminate the world around them. These 7 stages of Rosicrucian initiation show a deep and powerful way to unlock your hidden psychic abilities and reach higher levels of awareness. It is a path that asks for focus, hard work, and a real desire to change from the inside out. This ancient journey is always open to anyone who truly wants to find it. If this look into the secret world of Rosicrucian wisdom has made you curious and want to learn more, please subscribe to our channel. We will continue to explore the mysteries that help us awaken our real power. Share this video with others who are on their own journey of discovery. And always remember, the biggest secrets are often not found in the outside world, but hidden deep inside your own self, waiting to be found.